Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today, Tactical Cube 138. Now, this was just marketed as Tactical Cube because it was that good, it didn't need any stinking number. It was just big. And by big, I mean, like size of my hand, size of the claw of my hand. Still, big. Um, Big enough to not fit in any storage. Now, this came out on the heels of the Borg Sphere. And the Borg Sphere was a 6087. And pretty good, right? So the tactical cube had to be bigger. And, well, they weren't going to go with more attack dice. They were just going to go with a little more durability. Now, 2 more durability is pretty good, but you pay the points for it. However, you get a nice named ability here. The Borg Ablative Hull Armor costs -3 points to equip to this ship. Now, Borg Ablative Hull Armor normally costs 10, so now this costs 7. Go to 53. I remember the good old days where you could run 2 Borg Ablative Hull Armors. And be at 60, still have room for a captain and weapons and crew and a tech and just keep going. And boy, that was fun. And you can still do that around your kitchen table. What you can't do is do that in organized play. And maybe that's for the best. As it is, if you so chose to run this ship, and run the Borg Ablative Hull Armor, you would get 1 Borg Ablative Hull Armor. You would get a 1-point captain or crew or weapon or tech, and that's it. Because you get 8 points to put on this ship, and you'd spend 7 of them adding 4 durability to a 17 durability ship. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it, and by that measure, the named ability is not worth it. We'll come back to that maneuver dial. So then you start looking at this generic. Save 2 points, lose a shield. But you're still limited to the 8-point rule. So now you start going, okay, so what do I do with this? And the answer becomes not a whole lot. The Borg tactical cubes are just, they're stymied. They're stymied by being a relic of the era they were designed and built in. And then this arbitrary 50-point rule came into play. And the tactical cubes were left going, but what about us? And people went, you're Borg, we don't care. So, yeah. Maneuver dial on the tactical cube is, well, it's about what the sphere is. Right? 1 straight, 2 straight green, 1 turn, 2 turn, 3 turn, white, 1 reverse white, 4 turns red, 2, 3 reverse red. It's, yeah, it's all right. It's not good, but this is a large base ship. It's one of 2 large base ships. Cindy Weapon Tactical Cube. Am I missing anything? Don't think I am. I should be. That's a different rant, but it should be the Scimitar and the Jem'Hadar attack ship. The battle cruiser. Battleship's bigger. Yeah, basically whole 7 plus. Maybe not bioships. Bioships weren't big. Anyway. The Borg Queen. Oh, this Borg Queen. At the start of the game, put 8 drone tokens on this card. Once per round, you may discard a drone token to perform 1 action from your ship's action bar as a free action. Okay, that much is nice. If another Borg ship is in your fleet when your ship is destroyed, you may replace that ship's captain card with this card. If you do so, discard that captain card and all the drone tokens from both cards, then place 8 drone tokens on this card. So, yeah. This raises the slight question, because it says replace that ship's captain card with this card. If you do, discard that captain card and all drone tokens from both cards. So does that mean that the other captain has to have drones? I don't know. I don't think so. There's nothing to say that it does. It might just be a blanket statement to say, hey, if there are drones, get rid of them. So that this Borg Queen doesn't come in with some amount of drones. Really, this is the takeover Borg Queen that live a little longer. Very thematic. And getting to do an extra action is nice. However, the timing of this, once per round, you may discard to perform as a free action. It's just bad timing with new rules. It was fine when it came out, but now it's all messy. This is the keep your target lock drone. You can do it twice. It's not a good tactical drone because you spending 3 drones to keep a target lock. You go from skill 6 down to 3 and then 3 to 0. That's not a good ability, and on top of that, you go to skill 4, or it costs you 4 points to do it. No. The only use, and I emphasize only use of this is against cloaked ships, and that's it. Because yeah, and it's so specific that it's after you spend a target lock token to re-roll your dice. You can't even use it to trigger a secondary weapon. You can only do it after a re-roll. So really, you are fighting with one hand tied behind your back and maybe a second one. All right, an elite talent, because what would the Borg be without elite talent? Assimilated access codes. Action, discard this card, target a ship at range 2 to 3. Then discard up to 3 drone tokens from your captain card. Disable a number of active shields on the target ship equal to the number of drone tokens that you discarded with this action. If the target ship is cloaked, you may instead discard 2 drone tokens to flip the target ship's cloak token over to its red side. This upgrade can only be purchased for a Borg captain. Okay, fine. Let's parse this card. So first off, you have to have 3 drone tokens. Well, I guess you can do it 1 or 2, but 3 is best. And then you get to make them temporarily lose shields for a bit. Makes them easier to kill, but this is your action, and you're doing it as an action, so your captain skill for shooting is lower, meaning you shoot later. And alternatively, you can drop them out of cloak, but they still get their defense dice this round. Yeah, I don't like this. Even though it gives you options, I'm still not a fan of what exists here. It's just not there. Cutting Beam is a card of another era. It's a mission card. Don't get me wrong, but it costs you 8 points, which is too many. You must have the target ship held in a Borg tractor beam, which means you have to run the Borg tractor beam upgrade. And then you have to fire at range 1 with 10 dice. You disable the card, and you can only put this on a Borg ship. Okay, fine. So, let's go find Borg tractor beam, because that seems important. So it's a Borg upgrade, it costs you 7 points. So this whole combo is costing you 15. Action: target a ship at range 1, place one white Borg tractor beam beside that ship and the corresponding green beside your ship. So, really, this is just range 1 tractor beam. There's a few nuances for what they actually do. Um, Things about movement. Unfortunately, the rule card is not linked here in Utopia, and I don't have my cards with me. That's a symptom of me having moved. Um, yeah. But there's things about moving and breaking the tractor beam. So, really, you have to move late in order for it to be of any use. And then the ideal scenario is you move and attack with the cutting beam. So you move, you tractor beam, you attack, you cutting beam in the same round, and you hopefully destroy them. Um, that's at least the hope. All right, full assault is another weapon. It's an attack, disable. You must divide this attack between 2 or 3 different ships. Now, the good thing is if you fire it from a Borg Tactical Cube, which is the only way I would ever run this card, you get 9 dice instead of 6. But you're still splitting it up. So 9 means you're rolling 8 and 1. Oh, sorry. Roll at least 2 against each ship. So you're rolling 7 and 2. Or 6 and 3. I don't know. I don't know that I'd go 5 and 4 because now they're likely to evade stuff. But because it's better to overwhelm one ship, do a ton of damage, and call it a day. But if you're splitting it up 7 and 2, unless you're going up against fighters, you might as well just roll your 6 attack dice as normal. And there's no reason this card ever should have costed 6 points. Alright, Borg Missile. The card of headaches. Attack, disable this card. The target ship does not sustain normal damage from this attack. Instead, place one auxiliary power token beside the target ship and destroy one of its active shields for each hit or crit result. So this is to say, it takes one aux power token, period. And then it loses one active shield for each hit crit. It doesn't get defense dice, which is fine. But for a card that can only ever destroy shields, it should not cost 6 points. And I don't care about range 1 to 2. The fact that you're only rolling 4 dice means that you're giving up dice to make the attack. And yeah, the Borg almost needed to be totally redesigned, where they had a primary arc and a secondary 360, where these secondary weapons that cost a lot let them fire from their 360 arc. Because Borg Missile out 360, fine. But I digress. That's a totally different game. Self-destruct sequence. Action, you cannot attack this round, fine. During the next activation phase, you cannot move or take any actions. At the end of the next activation phase, after all ships have moved, destroy your ship. Roll a number of attack dice equal to your whole value to damage every ship within range 1 to 3 of your ship. A ship does not roll defense dice against this attack unless that ship has a scan token beside it, meaning you're telegraphing. They know exactly where you are, they can get out of dodge, and they can take a scan so that they actually get to roll defenses. I don't like it. I mean, I like the idea, but unless you have some kind of an action denial fleet built around this card, and you very easily could, I wouldn't go for it. Okay, 4 of 12. I think this is our only crew. Action, discard this card in one of your drone tokens. Target a ship within range 1 to 3. Remove any 1 token, those are evade, scan, battle stations, or blue target locks, from beside the target ship. Then place a scan token beside your ship. If you removed a blue target uh, with this action, also remove the corresponding red from wherever it is. So I don't dislike this card. Um, for an action to deny the benefit of a token, and you get scan, um, there's something there. I'm not sure that this is 2 point good, since it is an action discard. I think it might be better as a 1 point card, but those are the little points that we quibble about. Um, whilst I would enjoy this being reusable, um, time token reusable, in the 3 time token variety, because I don't think that would be broken. Um, it is what it is, and I'm okay with it. Again, not loving it. Borga Blade of Whole Armor, I touched on at the beginning with the named ability, but I'll go over it here for the sake of completion. When defending, convert all your opponent's crits into hits. Place all the damage cards that your ship receives beneath this card. So this only kicks in once shields are down. Once there are 4 damage cards beneath this card, discard this upgrade and all damage cards beneath it. All excess damage affects the ship as normal. So it's interesting. If, say, by some miraculous roll, I were to roll 8 crits. I don't know how I do that, but I do that. They all get converted to hits. And then all the damage is dealt. It doesn't matter that 4 of those dice would have been crits to the hull after the Borga Blade of Whole Armor absorbs it. Nope. The whole armor has an effect. And that's why it can cost more than 2 times health. Even today, I still think this card is way overpriced. And I think that it needs to be reduced. But that is just my opinion. Alright, the tractor beam we've gone over. Borg Alcove. Action, add 1 drone token to your captain card. Can't exceed your starting number. Shouldn't be an action. Shouldn't be 4 points. There are better ways of adding drones now in Resistance is Futile faction pack. Overall, it's an interesting pack. It's a pack that tells me the Borg were designed in a different era than today. In the era they came out, a lot of these cards were fun. They were nice, expensive ways to pile on the tactical cube, and you could put a ton of stuff out and really fly a single ship with a lot of points. And that had its moments. Were they all good? Nope. But it was something. So yeah, that's the tactical cube. I love the model. I own 3. One's price ship, 2 retail. I've opened 2 of them. I've put mini LEDs inside of them because the Borg tactical cubes with flashing lights just is fun. But that's an add-on. That's not gameplay. But I think it affects my enjoyment of the game. And doesn't make me run tactical cubes anymore than if I hadn't done that. Tactical cubes are by all means not a fantastic ship class. They are good. They certainly are good. They have 17 durability named, 16 generic, and they're rolling 6 attack dice. They are tough to punch through, but they can be punched through. And sometimes they lack the space you need to put meaningful upgrades on them. So Those are some thoughts on tactical cubes. Anyway, thank you all for listening, and until next time, we will see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.